Welcome back, everyone. And I do have a question here. And that is, could you address the difference between Nordic walking, urban poling, and pole walking? Okay. Those terms are fairly similar, but the Nordic walking technique is often done with a strap. So we have adapted it to being with this ergonomic ledge instead. And I would say what I can do too with the strap, basically there is a point where you actually let go of the strap and then you drag the strap as you come forward. So it is a little bit different, Zach. You might want to go on YouTube and just look up the Nordic walking, because we've definitely adapted it to what we think is kind of a safer technique, and one that you can get a little bit more core strengthening and utilizing that ledge. But great question. Okay. Okay, now what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you a few techniques so you can increase the intensity. So once you get going with the urban poling technique, I think you'll find when you're doing it correctly and you're really pushing down, you can bring up your heart rate. But for some of you who I know really or maybe have a challenging with still you're not quite getting that 80%, or you want to add more intensity, variety into your program, here's some other ideas. And they're also on your practicum sheet as well. So I'm just going to show you a couple of those. And then again, I'm going to let you go practice them outside. Okay. Now, if you don't have great knees, you don't have to practice these. You can just use this time to do more of the urban poling or the other strategies that I'm going to show you. Okay. So I'd just like to show you how you can actually skip with the poles. Okay. And I find it's so basically your lower body is just skipping and your upper body is just doing the urban poling. Okay, so just your lower body is just skipping, and your upper body, you're just doing the same as you would with your urban poling. That is, it's still opposite arm and leg. Your poles are on a diagonal. Now, it might be not as easy to keep your elbows straight the whole time. So don't worry if your elbows are a little bit bent. And I do find too, a lot of instructors told me that their clients love the skipping one because for some reason, it actually forces you into opposite arm and leg. Now, here's another one you can do. You can jog. We actually had some people who are marathon runners and use it as an upper body strengthening. So again, oh my goodness, I had to think about how do I jog? Okay, so again, my lower body is just going to jogging mode, but my upper body is doing, again, just the same urban poling technique. So you can't do a real fast jog as you saw, but at least initially. But again, you're just jogging and you're just doing that straight opposite arm and leg. So those are two that you can try out. And I'm going to bring you back in. If you don't have great knees and you don't want to do jogging or skipping, you can also do hills. So adding in a lot of hills, of course, is going to give you more of a cardio workout. And you could just do intervals. You keep practicing your urban poling technique, but do one fast, 1 minute slow. This is what you can do with your group when you're outside. Okay, guys, let's slow down. Let's slow it down. Okay, let's go fast for 1 minute. That's a nice gradual way of doing it. Let me just show you how you do the hills, how you're going to adapt it for hills. So generally, do you guys live in hilly areas? Like, are your hills really high? Kind of? Okay. So just want to let you know, if you just have, small hills, like I'm in Vancouver, I literally can see the mountains from here. you really have to adapt your technique to what I'm going to talk to you about. But if you just have just regular, hills, you're not in San Francisco, you generally don't have to change your technique for hills. It's just you're going to adapt your technique when you really feel like it's going to help, or if you notice for your clients that they are they just don't want a bit more stability. They want to feel a bit more confidence going down. They do feel like they can't quite control the speed they're going down. So maybe we could do this together, and I'm just going to have you pretend we're going up and down hills. And basically, the best way to do it is if I get you to stand up with the poles. And what I want you to do is, can you go back into kind of what we're going to do for the activator technique? That is, you're going to bend your knees and you're going to bend your elbows. Okay. I'm going to take you out of here so we can pretend together that we're going up and down hills. And then I'll let you go outside and practice. And if you've got any kind of incline, doesn't have to be a big hill, you can try. Okay, so let's pretend we're going up the hills. So to go up the hills, I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to bend my elbows more. And I'm actually going to lean into the hill. Okay, as if I'm going up the hill. And I actually can use the poles, this ledge, to pull myself up if these were big hills. Okay, again, bend my knees. I'm going to bend my elbows. I'm going to lean into the hill and I'm going to use that ledge. It's going to pull me up the hill. Okay. Now, let's say we're going to go down a steep hill, or your client just doesn't feel very confident going down the hill and they want to slow down. Again, bend your knees, bend your elbows. Your pole, can you see how I have my pole? I mean, this is extreme. You could actually just put your poles out front and use it just to stabilize yourself while you're going down. Remember, when you're going down, you don't want to have the poles here, because if you were going down a really steep hill and you tripped, you'd go on top of your poles. The poles are out front, but they're out to the side. Okay, again, I'm going to bend my knees, I'm going to bend my elbows, and I'm just going to use the poles just to kind of slow me down going down that steep hill. If it were really steep, I'd actually even take the handles, bring them towards me. Okay, and then see how I've got my poles kind of on a diagonal, and I can really slow down if I wanted to. I don't think that you'd have to do that, but for some of your clients who don't have a lot of coordination or balance, may just feel a lot more stable going down bigger hills with that. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, I'm just going to show you. This is one of Wendy's clients, and she uses hill climbing just to bring up his intensity.
To walk up this treacherous hill of Mount Trashmore. Oh.
Can you see that? Bent elbows, bent knees, poles are more in front. He's actually pushing down on that handle to pull himself
How you
up
doing,
the
Wayne?
hill.
Good. Feels good.
Oh, goodness. Woo!
Okay, so that's Wendy with one of her clients with Parkinson's. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to let you guys, we're just a little bit behind. So how about we have you go out for how about 8 minutes? Just come back when you're done. I've got it at almost 2:00, so 2:08, and try those ones out. The jogging, the skipping, the intervals, and if you can do hill climbing up and down. And I will see you guys back here at 2:08. Hi, Wendy. Are you there?
Yes, finally.
Oh, phew. I was literally sweating. I'm like, there's no way I can show Wendy's
Well, I
exercises.
was telling them that when I logged on through the registration one, it just pulled up like raise hand, chat, and Q&A. Like it didn't give me the option to turn audio on or camera on, and I'm
Oh,
like,
I see. Yes, right, right. Because we have to convert you over.
yeah. So he
Okay.
put me as a panelist. He was like, dude. Well, I'm on my laptop now, so fingers crossed it works. I shut it down for a while and started, but no problems whatsoever. And then all of a sudden I get here to set up and just kind of angle the camera and stuff, and it was just going crazy like somebody had taken over my whole computer. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't worry, Wendy. I know all about that.
So I'm like, I was planning on getting a new one anyway, so I think that just solidified it.
Guys, if
Okay.
any help, I'm here, okay?
Thank you, Roderick. Well, Wendy, it looks like you're coming in well. I've
Yeah.
got
Is
you
the lighting okay? It
spotlighted.
looks dark on one end. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks a little dark, but we can see you. And do you want to try a different angle?
I can, and then I can, if I bring it down, does it help?
Yep, yep, yep. That looks good.
Okay.
Yep.
It's all
Actually,
about the lighting.
if you just step back a little, or can you just yeah, because it looks like
So
if
then
you
I
just
think I'll,
step a bit, bring your chair back a bit, you get less shadows.
can you hear me back here?
That's perfect. Yoo-hoo! Great. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant your camera wasn't working. So I was like, oh no. So Wendy, just let you know too, we are behind. So I
Okay.
don't think you will be on. Okay. Okay. 209, 208. They're coming back. And then I'll try to get the research done in. Oh, okay. So we're not too far off. 209. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be more like 2:30 that you'll be on.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're behind about 15 minutes, which is okay because the end section I gave a lot more extra time for. Okay, perfect, Wendy. I will see you. Hi, Marcy. How did that go?
Well, I have a question about that jog. Skipping was great because you're right. You do the opposite arm, opposite leg, but on that jogging, am I holding the poles so that they never tap the ground? Are they tapping the ground as I'm
They-
doing the jogging?
They're tapping the ground, just like
Okay.
they are tapping the ground.
Okay,
It's almost exactly the same, except for you are, as the urban polling, except for you're jogging. Of course, you do it much slower, but you do want them to tap the ground. But you're right, it's just a quick kind of tap.
okay.
Yeah, hard to get much of the pushing down on them on the ledge. Okay, sounds good. I think we've got everyone. We got Pamela. Pamela, how did that go for you? Oh, sorry, Pamela, can you? Oh, there. Oh, sorry, Pamela, can you unmute yourself? I think I just muted you.
Am I unmuted now?
Yep, yep.
Okay. It went well. I do have a question about the height of the poles.
Mhm. Go ahead.
So do the numbers on the side correlate any way to like how you would fit somebody for a cane or a walker?
No, I mean,
Okay.
wait a minute. No, you would just tell them put their elbows at 90 degrees. So if they're already a
Okay.
cane user and you want to use them to use the activator, just tell them put your elbows at 90 degrees, and then yeah, just do the hole that matches to that length.
Okay.
Yeah.
So elbows at 90.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So that's to do the activator. So, but with the urban
Okay.
polling, of course, you can go a couple inch, couple holes longer for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this probably doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing right now, but what is the difference in all of the poles? As far as I noticed, there's the activator and then there's other different poles.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Pamela, sorry, I'm not sure if you, what I did was there is the, Pamela, did you see the part where I was just showing this pole?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I can go watch and I can watch the rerun of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
just-
okay, Pamela. You know what? I won't go through the whole thing, but absolutely, just let everyone know you can look at the recording, and no worries, Pamela. This one is actually the other polls are meant for. Generally, they're meant just for doing the fitness activity of urban
Okay.
polling, and they do have a turning lock system. You'll see some. They have a turning lock system. So you have, and they are a little bit lighter. The turning lock only does 90 pounds and they come with the boot shaped tip, whereas the activator always comes with the bell shaped tip.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, great question. And but how did you find doing the those techniques? How did that go?
The skipping was very easy. I found the skipping easy just because you naturally, opposite arm, opposite leg.
Yeah.
So the running was a little tricky because I didn't know if the poles were supposed to touch or not touch.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
same question that Marcy has. I should have indicated that to you guys. Yeah. They're just going to touch, but they should reach the ground as well.
Okay.
Okay, great. Does anyone, I don't need to see, of course, your techniques, but anyone got any other questions or comments for me? I'll just check the chat button. No, I don't see anything there. Okay. Any other, no questions or comments from that then? You guys are okay with that? Okay, sounds good. So yeah, we just added in those techniques because we do find sometimes people really just find it fun, and to add more variety. If you got the group out, people just want to have some variety from just polling, they can add in a few skips, maybe some brisk walking, add in a hill. So just different ways that you can just make your program really fresh all the time and innovative. And of course, totally depending on the level of your clients. This is like, someone mentioned earlier, this isn't going to be for some of your earlier stage clients. Now, does anyone here deal with snow or do I need to? Of course, I'm from Canada. We got to talk about the snow here. Okay, so just want to let you know, you can use the poles in snow. In fact, here in Canada, we use it a lot for like fall prevention. So one thing I wanted to show you is take off your tip and you will see a carbide steel tip. So this is the tip that you will use when you guys are outside on trails, on grass, slippery grass, on gravel. So whenever you find that you're outside poling and then the rubber tip is starting to move, whether it's the bell tip or the boot shaped tip, just remember this is like a good quality carbide steel tip that you find in a good quality hiking pole. And you can then just get everyone to pull off their tips and you can just use that carbide steel tip. And that's also what you would use, of course, in snow. I just want to let you know too, if you do have snow, there is this basket. However, we've had a lot of people use this for sand, which I'll show you later on too. Like if your sand is really soft, what we found is that this big snow basket seems to work out better than our hiking basket. And so let me just show you if you've got a client who wants to know how to use it in the sand or you want to take your group, just take the basket and you actually need to push it onto these grooves and then turn it. Okay, you want to make sure it's on snug because otherwise this basket will come off. And can you see the grooves right here? You want to snap it on there. Okay, so again, if you're using it in the snow though, same thing applies. You're going to bend your arms. You're going to bend you're going to bend your knees. You're going to keep them more straight like you would the activator because of course it's more slippery. We've told some of our clients just put your poles by your door because a lot of falls actually, or most falls happen in your house or just around your house. It's actually just things like getting into your car, going to the mailbox, because I guess people are rushing in and out of their house. And so if you have the poles right by the door in the wintertime, it's just a really good reminder for your client to use it in all kind of circumstances.
Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long.